We are live in the Parliament for the reconvening of the sitting of Senate today. The President of the Senate is now approaching and is about to enter the Honorable House any second now as we begin and continue the budget debates into today for the Upper House.
To direct and guide us all in our conversations, and grant that we, thy fear always before our eyes, and laying aside all private interests, prejudices, and partial affections, the result of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy blessed name, the maintenance of true religion and justice, the safety, honor, and happiness of the Queen, the public weal, peace, and tranquility of St. Lucia, and the uniting and knitting together of the hearts of all persons and estates within the same, in true Christian love and charity, one towards another, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Ghost be with us all evermore. Amen. Senators, may I remind you that when the Senate rose, the question in the debate was the Appropriation Bill 2020-2021. Honorable Leader of Government Business, no. Senator Mangal. As a courtesy, I want to let you know that Senators Oje and Francis have said they're going to be late.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Madam President, I am delighted to support the Appropriation Bill 2020-2021. And furthermore, Madam President, I am thankful to be able to make my contribution in the support of this government and this debate. Madam President, of course, the Honorable Prime Minister delivered an address there, and he delivered a very good appropriation bill, Madam President. The Prime Minister was in true form, and indeed he has met the expectations, especially in this time of trying times, Madam President. Madam President, when we came into government back in 2016, we found an economy that was in decline. And so, Madam President, for 4 consecutive years, we have grown this economy. And 2019, Madam President, is no exception. The economy grew in 2019 by 1.7%, being consistent with the world's advanced economies that grew also by 1.7%. That could be found on page 24 of the Social and Economic Review, Madam President. Consistent, Madam President, with the growth in the economy, we have seen the decline in unemployment. Unemployment fell from 20.2% in 2018 to 16.8% in 2019. Madam President, youth unemployment declined from 36.3% in 2018 to 31.6% in 2019. And so, Madam President, it is by no fluke, but it is basically through the hard work of this government, Madam President, that we have been able to grow this economy, Madam President. And by so growing the economy, we have been able to reduce the debt to GDP. Madam President, when you grow the common denominator, when you grow the base, you are able to spread your debt over a wider base and thereby reduce your debt to GDP. But Madam President, how did we manage to grow this economy? And this is what is puzzling and mind-boggling, Madam President, to our friends on the opposite side. Madam President, we had a perfect formula to grow this economy. And that perfect formula, by injecting capital, by reducing taxes, Madam President. You would have heard that we would like to just put and impose taxes on people. But the evidence, Madam President, is there to show that we are the ones who reduce taxes in this country, Madam President. And so may I ask, who introduced VAT? It was not us, Madam President. But who reduced VAT? It was this government, Madam President, that reduced VAT from 15 to 12.5%, Madam President. And when you do so, Madam President, it was also this government that increased the personal allowances, Madam President, from $18,000 to $23,000. And by so doing, if a taxpayer would be paying 10%, therefore that taxpayer would have an additional $500 in his or her pocket. Madam President, that is disposable income. That is income you will have to put back into the economy and to spend. And so with those tax reduction measures, Madam President, we were able to inspire confidence, consumer confidence in our people, Madam President. And so we encourage economic activity. And once we have economic activity, Madam President, naturally the economy will grow, Madam President. That is what is rocket science for them. But this is what we understand and this is what we know best. So when they will go about and say, Madam President, that we did nothing for 4 years, we did nothing for 4 years, tell them, I would take doing nothing for 4 years and growing the economy for every single year, rather than saying that I do something and have under my watch that the economy is in decline for 3 consecutive years. This is what happened under their watch, Madam President. So if we are doing nothing, wait until this year to see when we start doing according to them. Because this is what they're saying. It's only in the 5th year, election year, that we know and we will be doing. Well, in the election year, Madam President, the year that they say is election year, we will be escalating. We'll be intensifying the growth and what we do in this economy, Madam President. And so that is the way we do it, Madam President. So for all the naysayers, but I can use the analogy, Madam President. When we came in 2016, we found this vessel on this large sea with the Niagara Falls, heading to the Niagara Falls, heading for total destruction, Madam President, with a captain who had no rudder for that ship, Madam President. But when we came in under the Honorable Alan Shastney, Madam President, we found a leader, we found a government who was able to turn that vessel around and to bring it to the point of the shore of safety, Madam President. And now we have done so. We are in the process, and we continue to rebuild this economy, Madam President. And so, Madam President, I move to the things that we are planning to do under this budget, Madam President, for this year 2020-2021, Madam President. And so in the Prime Minister's budget speech, Madam President, page 21, he spoke of creating a modern DCA, a modern Development Control Authority. Madam President, this has been much needed for a very long time. You have a Development Control Authority that is under the Ministry of Physical Planning. You have the staff of the DCA being asked to do two different tasks: to serve the Physical Planning Department and also to serve the Development Control Authority, which is supposed to be a statutory body, Madam President. And so, Madam President, the fact that they are to serve two different entities creates a conflict. Who's the master do they really account to? Do they account to the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Physical Planning? And when the chairman and the board of the DCA wants to carry out its business, who gets the priority, Madam President? And this is the vision of this government, that they have decided with the UNOPS report, Madam President, to remove the Development Control Authority from the Ministry of Physical Planning and to give it its own entity as a statutory body, Madam President. And this, I must applaud this government for doing so, Madam President. So the staff, they will have their own staff, and they will be able to focus on the development control and forward planning matters of this economy, Madam President. And so, Madam President, we all saw what happens. The Development Control Authority is an entity where all our approvals for development go through. For residential buildings, for land subdivision, for commercial buildings, hotels, etc. And if we do not get these things out in a timely manner, Madam President, you find that a lot of the money that is well needed to be invested in the economy is trapped in that ministry, Madam President. So with the DCA having its own entity and its own body, Madam President, it will help to propel and expedite the process of approval, Madam President. And once we expedite the process of approval, we will be able to reduce on unauthorized development, Madam President. Because if you submit your plans and it is 2-3 months you cannot get your plans, you may as well decide, let me forget the formal process or the formal sector, and let me just go and build what I'm supposed to build, unauthorized, illegally. And that is why you have such a high number of unauthorized development in this country, Madam President. Also, Madam President, there will be the need to assist, and I heard Senator Thomas Francis spoke a little bit about that. There will be the need, Madam President, to assist families, Madam President, who do not have title to their property. A lot of the times, Madam President, the father and the mother, the parents are dead, but the siblings are there. Letters of administration take some time, Madam President, and while that entire process of rationalization and giving everybody their share of land, and those people do not have title, Madam President, within that period of time they would require to be getting approval and to be able to build their homes and live there. So, Madam President, without telling them that you do not have the necessary requirements and allowing them, because of the need for shelter, to go in the informal sector and to build a home, we may as well, under the new structure, Madam President, be able to carry out a subdivision layout for them, mark out where those buildings are to be placed, assist them in the placement of their homes, and in the future, when they've been given proper title and they are allowed to, they can go through that master plan development, Madam President, and be able to build their roads and place in the necessary infrastructure, Madam President. This is what this government is about, in ensuring that a St. Lucia, the built environment in a St. Lucia, is properly developed, thereby reducing the disasters we have when our fire services, when our emergency services are to go into these areas and to rescue persons who are sick and who require medical care. Madam President, the Prime Minister spoke about housing. And Madam President, this government has an ambitious housing program, Madam President. Despite the lack of investment and the lack of money in housing, Madam President, we have decided to partner with the private sector, PPP projects, in shock, Madam President. And so, Madam President, in shock, we have actually broke ground. We had the groundbreaking ceremony last month. And work has started and work continues, Madam President, in shock. An area, Madam President, where the previous government in 2004 said it is impossible to build. It is going to be too costly to build, Madam President. Well, it had to take this government, it had to take the men and women of this government to be able to tell them no. Although you purchased the lands, you made that investment and decision to purchase the lands, and you now went back and say the lands are not good, and you simply pack them aside, Madam President. Well, we have decided that we have the properties, Madam President. We will do that development. And so, Madam President, in shock, out of 87.3 acres of land, currently we are developing 54.83 acres of land into medium and low density lots, Madam President. 211 lots will be created, Madam President. 175 residential lots in a phase 1 development, ranging from 5,000 square feet to 19,950 square feet. And larger in the more moderate sloping areas, Madam President, and sloping sites, we're going to have what is called multifamily developments, where under the land register, we will be able to sell a flat to the various professionals who may not necessarily want to have an individual home, Madam President. In phase 2 of the development, we will have 36 commercial lots ranging from 10,600 square feet to 20,000 square feet, Madam President. And that will fall immediately behind the area of the cinema and the commercial belt that already exists, Madam President. So we are working, Madam President. We are indeed working. And so, Madam President, by next month, you will hear of the launching of the Talvan development in Talvan, Babuno, Madam President. 137 lots will be created in a phase 3 of the development. Now, the reason it is phase 3, Madam President, means that there was a phase 1 and a phase 2. Phase 1, Madam President, and phase 2 are 2 squatter areas, which again, Madam President, those who sit on the opposite told the people that they would develop. And within all of the time, the 15 years in office, Madam President, was not able to deliver any of this for the people of Talvan. But this government, in the year 2018, was able to rationalize the lands and made it available for the people of Talvan, for them to now own the properties, and they are in the process, and they continue to do so, Madam President. And so, Madam President, phase 3 is within the virgin territory of Talvan. And so, that development will be a medium to low income development, and it will have a total of 137 lots. And the lot sizes, again, Madam President, range from 4,000 square feet to a total of 16,000 square feet. This is, Madam President, a response from this government who cares about its people, knowing very well that shelter is one of the basic requirements, and responding to the need of shelter in this country by providing land and land packages, Madam President. And so, Madam President, in Tuya, and Tuya is a classic, you know, the Labour Party, Madam President, during their time in office, went into Tuya and started a development. They never checked title and so on. I mean, can you imagine this? You do not own the property, but you simply go on people's private lands and you start constructing roads and putting in infrastructure and say you're doing a government development. Only to find out after the fact, Madam President, that the land does not belong to the government, to the crown. And they had invested millions of dollars into that development, Madam President. So again, Madam President, we had to come into office and clear the mess. When we came into office and we found out that the land did not belong to the crown or to the government of St. Lucia, Madam President, we had to go through the process of acquisition. Since we had already invested on these lands, Madam President, we had to acquire those properties in Tuya. And so those properties were acquired by the crown, and then now is being transferred to the National Housing Corporation for development, Madam President. And so, Madam President, again, on those 40 lots which exist in Tuya, the government is looking to do some duplex houses, a total of 15 duplex houses to be sold to the people of St. Lucia. That would be 30 units, Madam President, available for development or for our young people and our people who require homes to be able to enjoy those homes, Madam President. That is not all, Madam President, for housing. Madam President, Invest St. Lucia. Invest St. Lucia has started a development in Boshamiku. I think it's a total of 52 lots, Madam President, and it's at its advanced stage of construction, heading to completion, Madam President. Madam President, Invest St. Lucia will be undertaking another development in Boisjoli, Dennery, Madam President. And also, Madam President, Invest St. Lucia realizing the need for persons who have title to their properties, Madam President, will be rationalizing on embarking on a squatter rationalization program in many areas, Madam President. And these areas include Pierrot, Kako, and Grace in Vieux-Fort, Le Maire, Belleville, Despinos, and Grand Ravine in Dennery, and Larissus in Dennery as well, Madam President. But Madam President, I want you to take note to something that is very crucial in all those areas that I mentioned. If you notice, Madam President, all of those names fall within districts that are represented by the opposition, Madam President. And so one has to say, what level of representation are they providing to the people in this country? If you are representing your people best, Madam President, you would have been able to represent them in one of the basic needs that they require, which is shelter. Yes. And that was not done, Madam President. And it has to take this government, with its guidance to Invest St. Lucia, to request that those lands be rationalized and that those people who have their homes be able to be given proper infrastructure and title to those homes, Madam President. Proud, Madam President, is doing the same thing. Program for the rationalization of one-plan developments, Madam President, mentioned in the Prime Minister's address, page 57. Madam President, in this financial year, 2,368 meters of road will be constructed. 3,443 meters of drains. 2,198 meters of footpaths. And 5,828 meters of water infrastructure will be upgraded or installed in Bexar, Sarot, and Larissus, Vieux-Fort, Madam President. Madam President, under the Proud Free, the creation of 650 new lots and security of tenure for 1,038 households will be obtained, Madam President. This again will be done in 6 communities, namely Oleon, Bruceville, Vieux-Fort, Cantonment, Vieux-Fort, Opicon, Madam President, Pom in Auger, and Rapol, Madam President. Yet again, Madam President, the common thread, Madam President. All of those constituencies are represented by the opposition, Madam President. So when they say we are discriminating against them, here is the evidence where we are actually empowering the people within their communities and their constituencies. We are empowering them. We are ensuring that we give them the necessary empowerment and title. Because, Madam President, nothing is more important than having title to your property, Madam President. When you simply go and you build a house on land that does not belong to you, all you could do with that project is to be able to slip in it. You do not have any tangible asset that you could use for collateral. But when you own the property, Madam President, which we are about to do, we empower the people, we give them title. That title, they could use it for a loan to send their children to school. That title, they could use it for them to be able to invest into a business or to upgrade themselves and upgrade their family, Madam President. So this is what we do, Madam President. We empower people. We empower people, we give them the power, and we teach them how to fish. We don't make them subservient to us, and every time go out and just hand them a bread, Madam President. And so, Madam President, I continue. On the housing again, Madam President, the Prime Minister in his presentation indicated incentives for private housing. Madam President, duty-free concessions on building materials for housing development, developers of 5 homes and more will get the benefit to encourage home ownership and stimulate economic growth, Madam President. What a brilliant move, Madam President. I am one that have advocated for years and for decades that we should have some form of investment incentive being given to the people in housing, Madam President. If you look at housing, Madam President, most of our investors in this country, most of our businessmen and women in this country do not invest in housing. Why? It's because there isn't the necessary incentives, and it's also the cost of development, Madam President. So the profits available within that business is not there. And so, Madam President, persons before who wanted to develop a housing project would have to make representation to the Minister of Finance. And at his discretion, Madam President, he would decide whether to include within the Special Development Areas Act your block and parcel number and be able to give you the necessary incentives to carry out that housing development. But, Madam President, with this policy statement, it will no longer be discretionary. It will mean that every single St. Lucian in this country, whether you are a private developer, whether you are a businessman, whether you are a homeowner, and you will be building 5 houses in this country, whether you are red, whether you are yellow, whether you are Flabo, or whether you are Labour, there will be no discretion, no discrimination, Madam President. This legislation will be there, or independent. This legislation will be there, and you will be able to access it, get the necessary duty-free concessions, and be able to build 5 units in this country, Madam President. Use it, Madam President. And so this is, in addition to being able to provide more shelter for our people, Madam President, we are also creating employment. Every house you build, you create employment, Madam President. Every house you build, you're spending money. Therefore, you're stimulating the economy. You're investing into the economy, Madam President, in addition to ownership of buildings, Madam President. You create, Madam President, much needed employment. You create economic activity. You fulfill the housing demand, Madam President. And once you have money circulating in the country, once you have investment being done, Madam President, automatically you grow in the economy, Madam President. And at what time is it best to grow the economy, Madam President, or to invest, especially in a crisis time like this in COVID-19, Madam President? And this is why we need to be careful in this time who we have leading our country and which set of people. Is it a set of people that had negative growth and negative growth, exactly, and 0, 0, 0 to the public servant? Exactly. Or is it a group of people, Madam President, or a government that can grow the economy for 4 consecutive years, Madam President? Debt to GDP, Madam President, this year is projected to fall to below 60%, Madam President. That is the projected base that the ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, has set for the Eastern Caribbean to be achieved by the year 2030, Madam President. St. Lucia is achieving that 11 years ahead of 2030, Madam President. And if it wasn't for COVID-19, Madam President, we would have gone much below. But then, Madam President, you need experienced leadership. You need good leadership that can be able to achieve those kind of results, to be able to navigate us through troubled waters, Madam President. And so, Madam President, those troubled waters that we are going through right now, what do? We have to come up with a plan, Madam President. We have to come up with a plan to be able to navigate us through those troubled waters. And so it has been said, Madam President, by those who do not understand that process, that all we do is invest in concrete and steel and asphalt and construction, Madam President. As if, and according to them, concrete, steel and asphalt does not grow the economy, does not give people, does not put bread on the table. And Madam President, it shows you how naive they are. They do not understand that process, Madam President. With tourism basically being at a standstill now, Madam President, where do we turn? We need to go to construction, we need to go to agriculture, and we need to go into investment, Madam President. And again, there is no need to reinvent the wheel. The great and mighty United States, Madam President, in the recession of 2008, the recession in the 1930s, Madam President, the Great Depression, they turned to infrastructural development, a lot of infrastructural development to fast track the economy and to stimulate the economy, Madam President. Okay, and it is the same that we are doing here. I really do not understand when you employ approximately 2,000 persons within all the jobs that will be created for all of those construction activity, how you're not generating economic activity in this country? Why, how comes you're not generating it? It's because you do not understand how economic activity is being generated, Madam President. That is why you do not understand it. And so, Madam President, we will be doing the following. Number one, $3.1 million to micro and small businesses with the emphasis on food security. Social programs as well, Madam President. Low-cost financing through the St. Lucia Development Bank for small and medium enterprises. $500,000 to Bell Fund. And I'm sure you'll be very happy to hear that, member opposite. Because I remember one was asking the question, why nothing to Bell Fund before? Increasing subsidy in bulk flour to bakers from $12 to $17, Madam President, per bag. So we're dealing with our food security as well. Provision of inputs and related items to the agricultural sector, Madam President. And so, Madam President, apart from those social needs, like I said, this government has taken a deliberate policy to fast-track the many construction projects within the public sector, Madam President. We must be able to find a way to mitigate the negative impacts that COVID is having on our economy. And of course, the impacts that it has on our main economic earner, which is tourism, Madam President. Tourism caters for 65% of our GDP. And Madam President, without that foreign exchange today, it means that our necessary reserves and our foreign exchange is being depleted, Madam President. And so we need to turn to a sector and an economy where we could create a lot of activity within. And this is where the Prime Minister has his vision, Madam President, to fast-track the construction sector. And so the ViewFort, the HIA, Airport Development Program, Madam President, you would have noticed that construction work have started in ViewFort, much to the dismay of those naysayers who believe and who said that, of course, work would not have started, Madam President. The West Coast Rehabilitation Project, Madam President, which we debated right here in this Honorable Senate at our last meeting here, Madam President, will start within that period of time, Madam President, from grant funding from the UK and a small percentage funded by the government and people of St. Lucia. The ViewFort Water Project, Madam President, is another one that, of course, will provide much needed relief to the people of ViewFort and also create employment, Madam President. And this is where, if I stick a pin in there, this is where, Madam President, we are different from them. Our various constituencies were neglected when they were in office, Madam President. But our various parliamentarians, Madam President, in all of the 11 constituencies can boast, you saw the various slide presentations, they could boast of major activities that has happened within those constituencies over the 11 years, over the 4 years, Madam President. And so, Madam President, we've not left behind the other 6. We've not, and the evidence is there to show in ViewFort, the water sector, which the member for ViewFort and then Prime Minister for 15 years could not accomplish. This government will start that water project in ViewFort for those people of ViewFort, Madam President. The DVRP projects, Madam President, Miku Secondary School Extension, the community centers in Blanchard, Miku, Odsa, Castries, HRDC in Forestier, Madam President, to name a few. Ancillary Health Center via the bolt arrangement with NIPRO, Madam President, yet another construction project. The John Compton Dam desilting project, Madam President, and the restoration of the various, the raw water pipeline from the John Compton Dam to the Cicero treatment plant, Madam President. Madam President, a record number of projects. And despite They will tell you that those projects are being done for election purposes, Madam President. We are there to tell you that these projects are a direct response to what is happening. They are not just new projects. They are projects that were supposed to be done over a period of time. But indeed, of course, because of the intelligence of this government, because of the ability to respond, Madam President, we are able to fast-track these projects. We are able to get monies where they could not get it, and to be able to go ahead and deal with all of the issues, Madam President. And so, Madam President, we did not leave spots out at all. And despite much of the criticism of the AstroTurf, Madam President, yes, there are places where we'll be laying the artificial turf. And you heard the Honorable Minister of Justice spoke as a sportsman himself in 4 or 5 disciplines, spoke about the benefits of the AstroTurf, Madam President. But for those who figured that, of course, the AstroTurf has its downside and would be a difficulty for persons who are practicing cricket and who play in cricket, Madam President. We are ready. Yes, you may say it is true, but I have the answer for you. I have the answer for you. In Soufriere, where we will be having AstroTurf laid on the field in Soufriere, we also have a secondary field, a next field, which will be located near the secondary school for the purpose of cricket. In Miku, Madam President, in Miku, while the AstroTurf is being laid on the Miku playing field, you have the Bosha playing field right next door for cricket. You have it there. In Denry, Madam President, there is a field exclusively for cricket in the Denry area, Madam President. And in Deriso, Madam President, there is a field in Ager, especially for cricket, Madam President. So we have not left out the other sporting disciplines. We have not left them when we develop in those various AstroTurfs, Madam President. We have comprehensively looked at the sporting needs of our young people and have developed them in that way, Madam President, as well. And so, for those who say, Madam President, that all we know is concrete and steel and so on, Madam President, the budget policy of the Prime Minister has touched in all sectors and in all areas, Madam President. And I will just name some of those, which it is, Madam President. Healthcare, Madam President. There's a lot being said about healthcare. There is the St. Jude's Hospital, and I'm realizing now that the opposition is getting silent on St. Jude's. They are getting silent, Madam President, because, Madam President, the Honorable Minister of Economic Development did say that we will be finishing this hospital in 18 months. 18 months, and we started in November of last year, Madam President. We were affected by COVID by approximately 2 months. So if you take out November and December, and we're now in what, July? So it means that we've been on this project for 6 months. Therefore, Madam President, if my calculations are correct, that 18 months should be somewhere in the region of May or June next year. And I'm hoping that we have no second wave of the coronavirus, or we have nothing else. We gave you a timeline. We gave you a time, 18 months. And we will deliver that project, Madam President, within that 18 months. Okay? State-of-the-art health facility for the people of Beaufort. And so, Madam President, they are running scared because how much, what else will they be able to see? And what else, where else will they be able to go, Madam President? In youth development, I have just touched, Madam President, those areas, okay? We were able to open the OKEU hospital, Madam President. We were able to rehabilitate a lot of the health, our primary health, is it primary or tertiary, the health centers, right? Right, primary health facilities, Madam President, all over the island, Madam President. So in the health sector, we have looked after our people. Youth development and youth employment, The YEP program, the agricultural program, you've heard the Minister for Castries Central talking about a program in Roseau, right, Madam President? And more so now, we need to be able to reinvest into the agricultural sector. Because to quote Senator Auger yesterday, and I quite agree with him, this is an area where our food import bill, if our food import bill, Madam President, is $350 million a year, this is about what it is. If we can simply decide to invest into our food and food security, Madam President, and grow and support local. And I'm making a special plea to our people, Madam President. Yes, the food that is coming from overseas might be a little cheaper on the shelves because they are able to mass produce. They have a greater economy of scale, bigger population. They are able to invest more into machinery and tools and investment to be able to put out a product which is cheaper, Madam President. But, Madam President, when they do, and when we go to the supermarkets and we buy an item for $6 and the local item next to it is for $7, Madam President, we are actually investing in a foreign company, Madam President. We are taking our locally owned money, our foreign, and we're converting it back into foreign dollars to another economy. So I'm making a plea. Despite you may see that this local item, let's just say chicken, local chicken, for example, I have no idea what the price is. But let's just say the local chicken is $6. The foreign chicken is $6 and the local chicken is $7, Madam President. If you were to buy the local chicken, you're supporting local. You are supporting our local farmers. And by supporting our local farmers, you are also eating a healthier product, Madam President. A healthier product. And so we should not leave it for the mighty United States or the industrialized countries to send us the secondary products or what is almost the rejected products and say, well, we're sending it to the third world countries. So let us send it there because it does not meet our standards. That happens, Madam President. And we need to be able to guide ourselves against that. And so, Madam President, we need, and I'm making a desperate plea, even to the government, let us invest. I'm very happy to see that the government is investing quite a lot into agriculture. But let us impose a lot into agriculture, Madam President. Let us grow and let us eat what we grow, Madam President. Let us make sure that the majority of that $350 million can stay in this local economy and can circulate in this economy rather than to go out, Madam President. And so in education, Madam President, the budget speaks about education, the number of investments we have made in education, the TVET program, and others, Madam President. Re-engineering the social services sector, Madam President, is another area which we've spoken on. Improving on security and justice, and that was quite eloquently presented by the Minister of National Security. Building capacity in renewable energy, Madam President. And so we know that, of course, in renewable energy, we are building capacity. Plus, we are also looking to change all of our street lights, etc., to be able to decrease on the consumption of energy and electricity, Madam President. This government has given the necessary incentives for persons who are looking to invest into solar panels and solar electricity, Madam President. And so that will help us save money in the long run. Arts, culture, and the creative industries, you heard the minister quite eloquently presented in that area, Madam President. Adapting to the climate change, Madam President. Of course, all of the necessary institutions. The St. Lucia Development Bank has been capitalized by this government to be able to assist our local people in the storage of water, Madam President. Special incentives being given to persons who are purchasing water tanks. And of course, I must congratulate a local supplier who has invested quite heavily in the manufacturing of water tanks in St. Lucia. And I think our people should again support what is local, Madam President. So, Madam President, we in this country, it is undoubtedly difficult times. We are seeing an economic situation created by a medical, or rather COVID-19, that we have seen that is unprecedented. We have not seen this happen, Madam President, in our lifetime. This, of course, could easily combine the Great Depression of the 1930s, the recession of the 2008, etc., all in one, Madam President. And so, Madam President, this government and its people have to rise and to meet the various challenges, Madam President. And this is why, Madam President, with the track record of this government in handling the coronavirus, Madam President, the Caribbean itself envies us. There is no country in the Caribbean that has a better record than us in the handling of COVID, Madam President. Under this United Workers' Party government, under this Minister of Finance, and under this Prime Minister, Alan Shastri, Madam President.
You have 10 more minutes.
Sorry?
You have 10 more minutes, Senator.
That's okay. That's okay. Under this Prime Minister, Madam President, this is, and so, Madam President, the Honorable Alan Michael Shastri has shown his ability to navigate the troubled waters. This government has shown its ability to navigate the troubled waters, Madam President, and this is why I am confident that because of the policy statements set out in the budget, and they say it's a budget for re-elections, but I would say it's a budget for the response of the COVID virus, Madam President, and the coronavirus situation. And because of the policy statements in this budget, Madam President, and what has been presented to this Honorable Senate and the House, Madam President, by this government, I am very confident that this country is on the right track. And this is why we need to be very careful when we select our governments in this country, Madam President. Do we go to those who tell us about 000 increase and negative growth, negative growth, negative growth?
Exactly.
Less than 5 years ago. What is new that they're offering to us today, Madam President? Nothing. They're offering us nothing new. When they make the various criticisms, what it is that they're offering to the people of St. Lucia? Nothing, Madam President. So you were fired 5 years ago, and you're offering nothing new, and you want to be rehired again. Against a government that is performing for its people, Madam President. The people of this country is not stupid. And the people of this country know where this government has taken them, Madam President. Where this government has taken them, and the people of this country has the confidence for us to be able to continue, Madam President. And so, Madam President, tourism will not return to its glory days. Not before, the projection is not before the next 2 to 3 years, Madam President. And so because of that, Madam President, construction, agriculture, and the other sectors, Madam President, investment in the other sectors, IT, etc., would have to hold the strain in this economy, Madam President. The banks, of course, has been asked to pick up the slack and to give the necessary reprieve, Madam President. Local businesses will feel the necessary consequences and so on. And that is why in this budget we've been able to give them, some of them, the necessary reprieve. And when the Prime Minister says that he's going to come with a stimulus, Madam President, I do believe that that stimulus is on its way to help the people, Madam President. So Madam President, in this budget, I would end by saying that I fully support this appropriation bill. I look forward to its entire implementation. And so, God bless the people of St. Lucia. God bless this government, and let us ride through these economic challenges with the help of God. I thank you.
Senator Gideon.
Thank you, Madam President. I need to say a pleasant good morning to all our friends and fellow senators who, for some reason, seems to be more like on the campaign trail, trying to glorify the deeds of the government than anything else. Now, I may not have much to say, but I can assure you that it will be telling, and that persons maybe would have things to say, or you would be thinking otherwise as to what exactly I said. As was said by the members of the lower house, that the budget presentation seemed to have been one of in actual words, the Allen in Wonderland budget. Because, Madam President, thinking on the things that were said, the issues that were discussed, it is obvious that persons or the speakers would, on the government side, would come in and try to list, applaud the government on their achievements, but they fail to realize and to see the areas in which they fell short. And in a lot of ways, Madam Speaker, we realize that persons tend to understand and see the shortcomings, what that would not favor them than what would. And all the speakers, Madam President, they came about and they spoke of achievements. But the problem is, speak to the local man, speak to the man on the ground, and then you would understand exactly what is going on. Because if my government throughout the years, they provided this, they provided that, and the low man on the street cannot see. They cannot say, okay, yes, I remembered, this was done for me, or that was done for us. Nothing was done. Because you have to satisfy the man on the streets, the low man. You have to satisfy them in order for your country, in order for you to at least gain the approval of these persons and then say that I might have a chance in the next election. But as you go along, Madam President, you speak to persons and they tell you, you hear on the radio shows, you hear them commenting and saying, what is it that the Alan Shastney government has done so much that they feel they deserve a second chance. In my community, in Dennery, I do not know how much can be said about it. Because as I speak to persons, you hear the same thing. Gouvernement pas fait rien. Gouvernement pas ba nou ça yo promet. And then they will come and they will say, you know what? A lot election yo kay vini, then nou kay wanje yo. C'est commensation ou ka tan from ces moun la a l'air chimère, l'on parle avec yo. Madam President, we have to understand that the government leads not for itself, but it leads to direct people and to lead people in through the straight and narrow, where persons can stand at the end of the day and say, yes, we can give them a chance, we can give them a second chance because they've started well. But has this government really started well? I mean, it's the onus is on the government side to talk, to say what they think they did, and so on. But the judgment lies with the people. So on election day, the people are going to give them the right judgment. Madam President, we in St. Lucia elected in 2016, I think, we elected a government, we said, to lead the path to direct St. Lucia out of the hands of the SLP, where everything for them seemed to have been going wrong. Everything seemed to have been wrong. We didn't come, we didn't quarrel. The people decided that let us give them a chance. The people decided, we agreed. But after 4 years, Madam President, what is it we can say that this government has done? What is it that they have done to satisfy our people? We understand that they spoke about they are going to do this and they are going to do that and the other. But what in truth and in fact, what is it that has been done? What is it that we could boast and beat our chest about and say that we have done for the people of St. Lucia? Let's look at the St. Jude's. The St. Jude's era, we have up to a day like today, we cannot understand exactly what is it that is going on with St. Jude's. Up to a day like today, we don't know. Did we, our lands, did we really give to the people of St. Lucia a clear path as to what is it that we want to do? Or did we just go out and speak with our mouths, say it, and then at the end, nothing was done? It was left just to go on. We have our Prime Minister talking about purchasing land, giving persons the land that we in the end can be satisfied with the results. But what has truly happened? What is it that has happened? How is St. Jude's today? Can we say that, you know, we can give them another chance, then they will complete? Lands were sold to persons, monies were given, the land monies, the finances were given, escrow accounts were formed, and so on. But the condition, the state of the work, what is happening, where have we been? Where can we say that, you know, that I'm confident that today that St. Jude's will be completed before election time? And we heard him crying, coming, complaining, talking about this was done and that was done, and in the next few months this will be done and the other. But what we are talking about is, what is the state of St. Jude's? What level has it been? From the time they spoke of building a new St. Jude's to now, where is it now? Where is it? Is it closer to completion than the commencement of the work, than when it started? Madam President, we have to understand that, yes, while persons are on the ground talking, while persons are there waiting on government to work and to produce and to do things for them, the question is, at what point is it? Where is it now? When we come and we talk about this was done and that was done for persons, where is it? Where are we seeing it to help us move and to make a judgment as to what we can do come next election? Nous ni moun ka vini kaila ka parler. Yo ka parler en les bagay moun pa sav, moun pa ka we, moun pa ko comprendre, moun pa ka we. Yo ka parler about it. That's not what we're talking about. Nous ka parler about si nous dit nous ka faire this et nous ka faire that. We want to see it in operation. We want to see it work. Go ahead and do it. Like love faith, then we start clear, we start okay, this was done. So on election day, come, you talk, this was done, persons can see it was done, and then they may have something else to say. But can they condemn what is it that you said you would have done and you did it? So, Madam President, we know for sure that this budget is not a budget that talks about the development of St. Lucia. It is a budget that persons now come into the house and they boast and they talk about, we've done this and we are right now, we are in our rightful place now for you now to re-elect us into government. Madam President, We know that St. Lucia is a place that was subdued through the COVID crisis. But the question is, what through this period was done, and how was it done to make persons, our fellow St. Lucians, understand that we have a government that is working with us, working for us to achieve the end of this crisis. We know that the crisis, the COVID crisis, gave us an eye-opener. It taught us something. Whilst we were busy using the country's finances to the big boys, giving loans and so on, and COVID came, and it was like a quiet moment. Persons started to figure out, where is all the money that the country kept on boasting about? We have X amount percent going, we have this going, and so on. Where exactly are these funds that could be used to show that with COVID, yes, we were slowed down, but don't tell me we were slowed down so much so that we were talking about cutting salaries, talking about percentage, taking a certain percentage of persons' salaries and so on. How would that help St. Lucia? How would it help the persons who are there and who need their salaries to survive? How would it help? We will see that, Madam President, that St. Lucia, for a time, we were trying to wonder exactly what is it that was happening in St. Lucia. What is it that was going on in St. Lucia? We have today hotels, which of course is one of the mainstays of the economy. We cannot doubt that. We have hotels talking about they have to lay off persons and so on, and organize packages where they could pay them certain monies for their work. Government was supposed in the end to assist, and up to now, whether it was a selected few or whatever, but majority of persons still kept on complaining that they work and they have not received their salaries, or they have not received compensation for their work and so on. So, Madam President, we realize that with all what that went ahead, all the country's finances that were used, that were given as loans to persons to do whatever they want, persons whom I'm sure could have on their own go in, fetch their loans, and come in and develop whatever properties, develop the country to employ persons and then to get the economy going. Today, we have this morning, not just this morning, I heard that Harbor Club, in the same breath of trying to send persons home, will be sending persons home. The question is, you send me home, how will I survive? With what? How do I get paid? They will be sending persons home, and now these persons will be depending on NIC to pay them, and this very same NIC government is depending on NIC to give them monies in loans and so on to develop places in St. Lucia. So where these persons are getting the 10 cents that they need in order to survive. Yo dis ici, c'est en place. You manger. You were able to save St. Lucia. Unemployment went down and so on. But with the COVID, something else is appearing. And maybe not too far from now, you would hear persons squealing and persons crying, persons talking about they have no money, they have no food, they need to survive. Madam President, it is unfortunate, very unfortunate, that we come in here and we talk about this is done and that is done, and when it were you, you were not able to do it, and so on. But what we want is to live in a St. Lucia where persons will not feel the pinch, not feel the squeeze too much, especially in a time like in the COVID crisis. There are lots of persons who I speak with and they tell you they're not working. If they are not working, how are they going to survive? You don't know. Petty job you boshi me by moon. Pour un petit cents ati la monnaie, puis vous mettez en bouche puis vous mangez. C'est ça qui a sauvé yo. Ils nous pour aller à l'école. Avec des fois bail, qu'on a pour faire. Qui manière yo kay aller pour ça? They do not have the means to go through it, and they are crying. Who is going to help them? Who is going to support them? The big men will not come out there and just take a stash of money and say, Prime Minister, here you go. Organize St. Lucians, feed St. Lucians with this for the time being. They cannot do that. So, Madam President, when the Prime Minister was spoken to about the decisions of loaning out money, giving out monies to persons, doing this and doing that, because don't worry, no way, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of it. Now the chickens have come to roast and persons are crying. Persons are crying. Madam President, what I know is, as an individual, when you are chosen to do a job, you take your time. If you know you cannot do it, you say you cannot do it. You cannot do it, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. But if you boast about you can do it, and in the end, you fall short, you have yourself to blame. You don't have no one to blame but yourself. Madam President, over the past 4 years, I have sat here and I have looked, I have understood exactly what is it that is going on. But the question is, the many things we talk about, are they truly reflected in the constituencies that we talk about? Are we serious about the St. Lucia we all talk about? Do we really sit and say to ourselves, St. Lucia, I love you, I care about you, and we'll see to it that we do everything possible to save this St. Lucia that we are talking about? Madam President, when I decided to run and become a politician, I did it with one thing in mind, and that is the people I represent. They are the ones I want to see. I want to see them grow. I want to see a change in them. And that is why I decided to do it. I don't have any problem in assisting or allowing someone else to go ahead or to assist me. In the end, when we win, all of us win. And Madam President, I have to say that coming into the House and listening, persons speak like they know all, they are the mighty ones. But we can be humbled so easily. We could be humbled so easily. We do not do what we say, we are humbled. The persons decide, people agree, we are taking him out, we take him out. And that is what I want us to be careful about. That is what I want our members to be careful about. That we come, we talk. And in the end, we tell a man, you have done absolutely nothing for that person. The person is from your community, yes, your constituency, yes. You see him on a daily basis. I do this, that, and the other. And that is why I think, Madam President, persons tend to take it as a joyride. You know, I come in here for 5 years, I sit for 5 years, I do always something for 5 years, and I expect persons to just automatically come in, dirty their fingers for me, and then I have another 5 years. But I always say to them, God is there, God doesn't sleep. God is alive, and He's there. And at the end, you can do everything that you want. You can say what you want, you can do what you want. God is the one that decides. Madam President, we have many things that were said in the budget or in budgets that would be done for the Dennery village, the Dennery South constituency. And it seems, Madam President, by all accounts, to me, the biggest picture is that of, let me go and complete the playing field put some grass on it, and then that alone will help me go through another 5 years. Madam President, I've always said we do not come and we speak to people, we fool them, we get them to vote for us, we get their votes, we sit, and then in the end, we do not know them for 4.5 years, 4.75 years, and then the last quarter or whatever, we try to go back again, we go back, and we try to pinch at them, we try to tips them, give them a little $5, give them a little $10 for them to do it. We must be judged by the works that we promise, what is in our manifestos for the constituencies. We have to. And if we cannot deliver these things, then the people have the right to do away with us. They have the right to do away with us. Madam President, in Dennery South, where I'm from, I've not seen much happen. I say, well, maybe if nothing was promised, then nothing has to be expected. But as I walk the village, I hear persons talking, persons talk to me, persons say things to me, and so on, that the rep said he would have done and he never did, or he is not in a hurry to do, and so on. The question is, what is going to happen? I look forward, Madam President, to the day when the bell rings. Election time comes, persons go in and vote, the decision changes. What is it that the current person would be saying to the constituents about not re-electing him to represent them? What will be said? Madam President, it's all nice, it's all well and good now. Persons think now, we are in the last year, just now, soon, that persons are now going to see things happening. Contracts will be laid down left, right, and center. Persons will be given, and so on. But I only hope that at the end, that we are going to be satisfied with the judgment of the people. When the people speak, the people would speak according to their choices. Madam President, we understand that the COVID-19, with all its ups and downs, is here and is ongoing. We are only hoping that St. Lucia is preserved, St. Lucia is spared, and that the choices that the people are going to make in the coming election will be one that would resonate that this is exactly who we want and this is what is going to happen. Madam President, I want to say that I am very proud of my political leader. We know that, as he said, he is a 5-star general and that he is waiting for this bell to go. And elections time come, and he is going to stand again.
Senator.
And this time,
Senator.
yes.
I remind you of 37.1, which is to confine your observations to the subject under discussion, which is the appropriation bill.
Okay, yes, Madam President. So he can be the person that the people on the other side, yeah, the people on the other side are doubting, are saying things about, and so on. Madam President, I want to wish everybody a happy campaign, whatever it is, when the time comes, and then in the end, we are going to see who is it that shines. And this time, Madam President, is not going to be about...
Senator?
Yes, Madam President.
You have 10 more minutes, and I bring to your attention again 37.1.
Okay.
And I don't want to bring it to your attention.
All right, Madam President. So I'm hoping that in the end, with this so-called Alice or Allen in Wonderland budget, that when it rolls out, that people are going to see the true picture. They're going to see the true picture of the government, and then election time comes, they're going to make the right choice and choose the 5-star general as their leader, and of course St. Lucia will be on a new path to good things. Thank you very much.
Madam Deputy. Honorable Leader of Government Business.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I will try to go past the crawling caterpillars, the story time, the fairy tales, the children in the stables, the Alice in Wonderland, and of course, a lot more that was said, Madam President. I want to say, Madam President, that I am grateful that we were able to break at a reasonable time last evening, knowing that we would have to return to the House this morning to continue this debate. And of course, we wouldn't want to be accused of doing the people's business at the dead of night. Madam President, I've always liked that saying, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Madam President, our Prime Minister has presented one of the most magnificent budgets at a time when governments are struggling to keep themselves in other countries, to keep their heads above water. We have a budget that is stimulating growth, that is speaking to sustainability, it speaks to solidarity, and of course, it speaks to our response to the COVID pandemic. But Madam President, I ask myself, where is all this suspicion coming from the opposite about the budget? Where is all the suspicion coming from about the state of emergency, which is very necessary at this time for us to carry out the business of the country and to continue to secure our people's health and wellness? And Madam President, I say it is all about trust. Where is that lack of trust coming from? We have presented a budget every year for the past 4 years. This one is no different, except that it takes into account the COVID environment. And why all that distrust throughout each budget that we present, although each year we keep delivering, and from our policies that guide our budget, we have experienced positive growth every year, every time, positive growth. So again, Madam President, I say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Madam President, there is a comment about charcoal. It was mentioned by the opposition senator, and another senator mentioned that people cannot make pudding because of a piece of legislation, a regulation that was established by this government. Madam President, I am going to read what is stipulated in that legislation, Madam President, that nobody is paying any attention to, and that is very critical in terms of understanding what this resolution is trying to do. Madam President, I speak of the Public Health Offensive and Hazardous Trades Regulations of 2020. These regulations are amending the regulations of 2008. And of course, these regulations are supposed to be revised every 10 or so years. But as you can see from 2008, there was a revised edition coming out of 1978. And now in 2020, we have this new amendment. Madam President, it is out of concern and out of many reports at the Ministry of Health that the Environmental Health Department, under the leadership of the Chief Medical Officer, took years to come up with these resolutions that are required under the law. Madam President, it is true that charcoal was added as one of those trades that is offensive. But there is nothing in the regulations that mentions pudding, Madam President. The regulations speak to curing or storing of hides, chicken farming, which was there before, slaughtering of animals or poultry, that was also in the old regulations, fat rendering, fat melting, lime making, manufacturing of gases and other chemicals, manufacturing of material for manure or fertilizer, soap boiling or manufacturing, civil of offal boiling, fiberglass works, fish frying that was already there has been changed to fish processing. Madam President, we have foam making, glue, paint making or processing, asbestos works, bleach manufacturing or processing, cement or cement products, quarrying, spraying automobile, furniture or industrial spraying, automobile repairs, printing or photography trade, jewelry repair or manufacturing, joinery or woodworks, animal or pig farming, piggeries, waste recycling activities, incineration or use of incinerators. There is charcoal making, which was added, welding plants and other activities which may adversely impact public health. Madam President, I know many of us can relate to someone making charcoal within close proximity of a residential area, and you have children with chronic diseases, children and adults as well, who suffer from asthma, bronchitis, and other such respiratory illnesses, Madam President, who can suffer immensely when people are engaging in these activities. So, Madam President, the regulations are to guide the manufacture and the production of these items. Madam President, the regulations don't make provision for persons who do not qualify to be using these activities for commercial reasons, and they can be exempted. So, Madam President, it says there's a board that's established to take care of, to implement the legislation and regulations. And in section 18 of the regulations, Madam President, it says the board may exempt a licensee by endorsing on his or her license from all or any of the provisions in these regulations. And no one pays attention to the fact that a person can be exempted. For example, if the person is just making a one-off charcoal on a one-off time basis, and if when the environmental health officers go and inspect that person's facility, then they will see that this person does not necessarily fall under these regulations, and the person will be exempted from having to comply with the regulations. Madam President, there is also a fee. The fee was already there from 1978. It was $10 annually, and the fee has been changed to $100. However, it is only a portion of that that is charged if you are not going to need the license for an entire year. So it may well come down to the same $10 if this is a one-off event that you are undertaking. But Madam President, it doesn't matter what our administration do. It doesn't matter how we do it. We are putting things in place to protect persons, people, their children, in communities. And yet still the regulations are taken out of context. They are misconstrued, Madam President, deliberately to create mischief in our society. People whom you think should know better, doctors, lawyers, they are encouraging people in our society who do not know better to use this essential piece of legislation or regulation to create mischief in our society. Madam President, and this is why our Prime Minister, our Cabinet of Ministers, this administration has said we need to create a new St. Lucia. It cannot be the St. Lucia full of mischief that we have encouraged throughout those past years. It has to be that we are going to elevate our people to a new level. And like the theme says, every theme, every budget together. And this is what my government is striving to do. So we who call ourselves educated, who believe that because we have a document from a university that entitles us to create mischief, we need to use our education to elevate our country and for better means, Madam President. Madam President, I heard that government has failed the people. I have heard that we were the least prepared for COVID and that COVID is just exposing us. Madam President, we are one of the countries in the world that have held up the best under this pandemic. The workers, the frontline workers, Madam President, they have put their best foot forward. My chief medical officer, my permanent secretary, the people in the Ministry of Health, the workers, Madam President, our police officers, our firemen, our doctors, our nurses, Madam President, our domestic workers on the front line, our security officers, everybody in healthcare, Madam President, who have contributed to our safety today. When we come to this honorable house, Madam President, and make these accusations and say these negative things about this pandemic that we are going through, about how we have handled it, Madam President, we are hurting those very same people who are putting their lives on the line for us. Madam President, as the minister in the Ministry of Health, I need no credit to be given to me. I need no credit. I take no credit. Because I know the God above is who I look towards for my credit. And he validates me every day, Madam President. But the workers who The minibus drivers refuse to pick up, to take to work because they figure those nurses are working with COVID patients. The nurses who couldn't get transportation to go back to their homes even when we had to close our borders to keep the country safe, Madam President. The doctors, when I go to OKEU, when I look at some of these doctors, I saw some of these doctors walking and they are dragging their feet, Madam President. From a whole night's work, from working double shifts, Madam President, I know that it is unfair for us to come anywhere, including this house that is supposed to be an honorable house, and make certain accusations. We need to watch. Of course, they said that the tongue is mightier than the sword. We need to watch what we say, Madam President, because the very same people we are praising on the one hand, we are taking them down to a level that is hurting them on the other hand. So let us put the issue of COVID and how we reacted to COVID and the response to COVID to rest. Because everywhere in the world, we are regarded as one of the countries that have done the best to contain this virus. When we say that the government has failed and we cannot prove or show that there has been negative growth or no growth, we are actually saying to all these public sector workers that they have failed the people also. For they are the ones that really support our budget, support this administration. We talk about government borrowing. We heard it across the board. Government borrowing, government borrowing. When we came into office, Madam President, we said we were not going to borrow unless there is a revenue stream. I do not know what is so difficult about that to understand, but I heard people quoting us out of context and saying that we said we will not borrow, we will not borrow. You all said you all will not borrow. No, Madam President. We said we will not borrow unless there is a revenue stream. And we have maintained that, Madam President. This is why we have realized positive growth. The UNORA International Airport project, right? You asked me for the lockbox last time, right? We removed the revenue that the former administration removed the revenue we were collecting to build the UNORA International Airport. And we came back in office, Madam President, to find even the $50 million that we had left there was gone. So we started again collecting those funds and, of course, to put towards the UNORA International Airport development. Madam President, we were accused in this house. And Madam President, in terms of borrowing, before I move on, Madam President, at a time like that, even the IMF top boss, I heard saying very early on in the game that prime ministers must not be afraid to borrow at a time like this. The same IMF that's always saying you all should not borrow and stop borrowing and so on. First thing I heard, she came out and said, prime ministers must not be afraid to borrow at a time like that. And Madam President, any reasonable person will understand that when you have a pandemic, you cannot stay within the confines of your budget. You have to venture out to look for additional funding to finance the activities for this pandemic. And this is what this government has done, Madam President. So any additional borrowing that we had to do for COVID, we have done that. We have a lot of people, we have thousands of people coming back from the cruise ships. We have thousands of young people still leaving school. And a lot of the projects that we had on the ground that was supposed to manifest themselves into productive activity, COVID put a stop to a lot of these programs, at least for a few months. You see, Madam President, they say that everything we do, we say COVID, but it is because they don't understand the nature of the pandemic. And they are not trying because what they want to do, these are the very same people, Madam President, that's trying to create, what do they say? Revolution in the time of COVID. At a time like this, Madam President, everyone supposed to unite. And every country, every organization, WHO, PAHO, they are calling for countries to unite to fight the pandemic. But our people in St. Lucia, the opposition, they are not hearing. What they want is a revolution. Madam President Manjadiyo, George Odlam Ale epi revolution ni. Zot pasafei. Zot pasafei. Because you see, my friend George did not only used to talk the talk, he also used to walk the walk. So you all need to move on. Madam President, I heard that we should, why are we putting KFC, why are people putting KFC in Bali, in the cul-de-sac? KFC is a private organization. Government has no control where KFC goes. So we are coming in this house and talking about where KFC is going to be located and where it shouldn't be located. And this is why I said, Madam President, I have to move past the fairy tales. We have to move past the fairy tales. Government is trying to gain seats and appease the populace. All of that, Madam President, belongs on a political platform and not necessarily in this house. I do not know how to respond to these sorts of things. Madam President, someone mentioned the National Trust, Madam President. And there's been a lot of talk about the National Trust, us supporting our NGOs, and the budget does not speak to support for National Trust and so on. Madam President, the National Trust is not a new agency. The National Trust has existed for years. And for years they have been getting a government subvention, Madam President. But to this day, the National Trust cannot show a budget. They cannot show a plan, a business plan, that they have used to arrive at anything. What did this administration ask for, Madam President? This administration asked for a plan from the National Trust to justify the receipt of that subvention. And that to this day, Madam President, we do not have. And nobody talks about that. But everybody is sympathizing. The opposition, as a matter of fact, not everybody, is sympathizing with National Trust, National Trust, National Trust. Madam President, National Trust has become the new political party in St. Lucia. Another political party, Madam President. National Trust, look at the board of the National Trust, Madam President. Who is on the board of the National Trust? Every politician that the United Workers' Party could not give a job is on the board of the National Trust. They are on the board of the National Trust. But with all that educational reserve, they cannot come up with a plan to show or to justify the subvention that they are getting. Madam President, there is one white mangrove in St. Lucia as far as I know, and I'll give you all that little bit of information so you all can give it to them. We have one white mangrove. It is very rare, Madam President. There are certain species of animals that grow in the white mangrove that you don't find anywhere else except, you know, in those white mangroves, and they need to be protected. We have one white mangrove in St. Lucia. Ask the National Trust where it is. Ask them where it is, no? Cul-de-sac, right there. Where they're making the charcoal, that's a mangrove. There's a mangrove there where the river meets the sea. National Trust need to check it out and really find out. If it is a white mangrove, they need to protect it, Madam President. Madam President, they were dumping endless waste from St. Jude Hospital in the mangrove in Beaufort. For years, Madam President, and National Trust did nothing. Nothing. National Trust is holding reserves, assets that are just laying down there, going to waste, rotting away. They do nothing with it. But as soon as government say, we are going to do this, or we are going to do that to restore something or to utilize it for the people of St. Lucia, all the politicians at the National Trust jump up and they want to revolt. They want to create a revolution. Madam President, to them I say, good luck. Madam President, we heard the mention of e-books versus laptops. Madam President, when that program started, and I heard that people have to be equitable, especially when it comes to education and children. But when that laptop program started, Madam President, it started with Form 3 students in certain schools. But for 3 students in secondary schools. Okay? Form 2 didn't get, Form 1 didn't get, Forms 4 and 5 didn't get. So how equitable is that, Madam President? Right now, Madam President, so Madam President, it is not every secondary school child that got a laptop. That is my point, Madam President. To make it equitable, you would have to give every secondary school child. Because the Form 4 parents of the Form 4 and 5 children were saying, why not my children? And parents of Form 1 and 2 were saying, why not my children? But what we do, Madam President, is Rome was not built in a day. And I understand why they started with the Form 3s, Madam President. Of course, hopefully later on, other kids would get laptops. It would have continued, hopefully. But we are not going to take that, Madam President, and make a big deal out of it to say, because you did not give laptops to the whole school, to make it equitable, that it is an issue. Because we recognize, Madam President, that government only have so much money to do certain things. And that is why, Madam President, we are saying to come here and pretend that this program was so equitable and flaunt around about the laptops, and you are complaining about the e-books. You are the only person who complained about the e-books. We have not complained about the laptops. You complain about the laptop, how we stopped the laptop program and blah, blah, blah. But, Madam President, the e-books.
What's your cabinet conclusion there? What's your cabinet conclusion there?
But, Madam President, the e-books, the whole idea of the e-books was to get the children the e-books so that we stop having parents to purchase books every year for their children. And I heard the independent senator spoke on the racket, he said, that this thing was created. He said that was a racket.
3,000 parents.
Okay? So the e-books were for the students to download all the books, and of course, order. So, Madam President, the e-books were designed to download the textbooks onto them, and the kids would have these textbooks. So anytime it changed, they could also go in and make the necessary changes. Madam President, I believe that the e-books was more appropriate. The e-books were more appropriate than the laptops. And I will tell you why, Madam President. Because I know of children whose parents parents whose children received those laptops. And Madam President, a lot of those laptops were never used for schoolwork. Because with the laptop, Madam President, you can do all kinds of things. There was a lot of downloading of pornography on those laptops. Those laptops also found themselves being stolen, Madam President, Madam Deputy President. And those laptops also ended up in those shops where they are making music, and they were using those laptops in those little music shops, Madam President. And a lot of the children who received the laptops were not the ones using it at all. So, Madam President, for someone to come and criticize the e-books over the laptops, I am just showing you some of the negative aspects that emanated from children having those laptops. I am not criticizing the laptop program.
Madam President, on a point of elucidation, I just want, since I was the senator who raised the issue of, just waiting to be acknowledged. Since I was the senator who raised the issue of the e-books and laptops, I just want to make it very clear that it was not a matter of criticizing e-books. My point was that a laptop can provide the facility to access e-books. I made a comparison between the two, and I don't have any issues with e-books except to say that whatever you could have achieved with e-books, you could have achieved with laptops and even more. That was the essence of what I said. I think the member is misrepresenting what I said by saying that I was criticizing e-books. I did not.
Madam Leader of Government Business, please take note.
Thank you very much, Madam President, because I know I have not mentioned anybody's name, not even to say Senator somebody. All I said was that I am not criticizing the laptops. I am not criticizing the laptops, okay? I am simply pointing out some of the downsides to the laptop. Madam President, I said they are criticizing the laptops. They have criticized it to death, not only here. Madam President, I heard of the Zoom sessions. Of course, I want to inform the House, Madam President, that there are Zoom sessions that are free of charge. It is not every Zoom app or app that carries a charge. There are some that are free. So maybe those persons who think that there is a cost to Zoom need to take a look and do their research, and they will find the ones that are free of charge. Madam President, I wanted to point out that when I said Rome wasn't built in a day, that sometimes we do things on an incremental basis. We introduce things on an incremental basis. And this is why I'm saying the laptops were given to from free, but hopefully, at the end of the day, every child would have ended up with a laptop. But to come and talk about equity, I do not think that we are doing justice to the word equity. Madam President, the Miku school, I made a note of the Miku school that is being built, Madam President. It is part of the EQUIP program, and it is going to be built under grant funding, Madam President. So maybe that is why it does not appear in the budget. I also want to say that I do not know of St. Lucians putting children in stables. We have not put children in stables, just like we do not put children in chicken coops or any other thing that is meant to house animals, Madam President. And I know I heard a reference about children versus horses or horses versus children. So I do not see the relevance when we are talking about the horse racing and we are talking about children. Madam President, I wish to remind this Honorable House that Sir Arthur Lewis, when we came into office, was in such a deplorable state that we had to move the school to the George Charles Secondary School. And for a long time, while we carry out the renovations, the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College was housed in the George Charles Secondary School until we were able to bring the physical plant up to a level or standard that the students could go back to the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Madam President, I heard about the master plan for sports. The question was asked. Madam President, when we came into office, all the playing fields in St. Lucia were in disarray. Even in passing, you could see that they were in a deplorable state. Even the Marigold playing field that was built for so much money, that was not being kept. Madam President, there was lots of grass on that field growing wildly, and of course we had to take care of that too. We have continued to upgrade our playing fields. We have, of course, put the artificial turf in many different locations, and I mentioned that in my presentation, the different locations, Madam President. The AstroTurf, sorry. And Madam President, I want to ask the question, because the Honorable Senator indicated in his presentation that AstroTurf is not, he had issues with AstroTurf. I cannot recall his exact words, Madam President, but apparently. But I want to ask the question, Madam President. Was it not the Senator's company that was given a contract from FIFA to put the AstroTurf on the Larry Shoes playing field? I'm asking a question, Madam President. The Larry Shoes playing field, Madam President. Madam President, I'm asking a question, Madam President. It's just a question, Madam President. It's a rhetorical question, actually.
Madam Leader,
Madam President,
Leader of Government Minister, you are addressing the Deputy President of the Senate. Thank you.
Madam Deputy President, farmers are now receiving their money. Madam Deputy, they are now receiving their money. When we came in, farmers were not paid. Fishermen were not paid. And now that has been settled, Madam President. They are getting paid right now. And we are hoping that everyone will get the payments that are due to them. Madam President, we were asked that we are training 78 young people under the Farmers Program, and what is going to become of them later, Madam President. Madam President, when we go to university or college, when we are finished, what becomes of us? Don't we acquire additional skills and we become more marketable so that we can find jobs? Do we get jobs handed down to us, Madam President? Are we not creating an economy of giving people as opposed to teaching the people to fish, Madam President? Is that not what our administration is trying to instill in the minds of St. Lucians and in our people to rise up to a new level, to create and build a new St. Lucia? Not a St. Lucia where everybody is getting handouts, but a St. Lucia where we train you to teach you to fish for yourself or to farm for yourself, take your produce to market, look for overseas markets, get the boats going and ship your goods overseas, Madam. Madam President, we see the mangoes languishing on the sides of the roads. We know that we have a few companies that we have assisted to develop agro-processing, Madam President. But we need more. And this is where we need to encourage our young people to go. Agro-processing, Madam President, so that we can make mango juice instead of bringing it from all over the place. At least we will know what is going into our own foods and drinks, Madam President. We are promoting the Buy Local campaign, and this has been going on for years. This is not new. The initiative that was launched on Tuesday or Wednesday, it is not new, Madam President. The Ministry of Commerce has been, you know, doing these Buy Local campaigns forever. So it is not now this has started. Administration after administration, Buy Local campaign. When I was in the Ministry of Commerce, Buy Local campaign. They would go as far as China, Japan, Taiwan, everywhere, promoting St. Lucian products. So this is not new, Madam President. Madam President, when I hear of all the things that we can do and we should do, coming from the opposition, the independent senators, this should be done, that should be done, I ask myself, where are they now? Where are they now? The people who were asking these questions, where were they then and where are they now? The reason why they are not on this side, Madam President, is because all they do is ask questions, and when they have an opportunity to do what needs to be done, they do not do it. They do not do it. I hope the questions that they are asking us now, because we are working, Madam President, we are a government that works, and these things will get done because we are working. I hope when these things are done, they can pat us on our back and say, well done.
Yeah.
But that will not be done, Madam President. They will find other things.
Yeah.
But while they have the opportunity to do it, they do not do it. Madam President, I heard about dialysis. When we came into power, Madam President, every day was a story about dialysis, dialysis, dialysis. Healthcare. Dialysis, dialysis. The first unit that was opened at the OKEU, Madam President, was dialysis. Check in Hansat, you'll see. I wrote it down. Madam President, we came in and we found one shift dialysis. A long line of people waiting to go on dialysis. So when one person passes, unfortunately, they bring one person more into the unit. So you have to wait for somebody to pass for you to get treatment. That's how it was, Madam President. We put in more dialysis machines. Then we put in another shift, so we had a second shift running for almost about a year or so. And now, Madam President, we have a third shift in dialysis. Thanks to Dr. Clark and her team, yes, we have a third shift in dialysis. Madam President, I will not say that we are perfect. I will not say that we have perfected the service. There are issues, but Madam President, we are working, and we are working on the issues. And people are getting better service as the days go by. That is all God wants you to do, you know. He wants you to do your best and leave the rest to Him. That's all. And that is what we are doing, Madam President. Under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Alan Michael Shastey, we are moving on, we are working, and we are making one stride at a time to create the new St. Lucia that we want to see. Madam President, we heard quite a mouthful from our independent senator, who unfortunately is not here now, but Madam President, and I know that he was an economic advisor to the former administration, and of course he would know, and he has admitted that the model is not working. Maybe it worked at some time, but it certainly is not working now. It's not working anymore. Not in St. Lucia, and according to him, not in the entire region. When we had the story of Liat, we expected that. Our Prime Minister spoke about that. He has lamented the way that Liat was run and managed from day one. And he also proposed a few solutions. Well, I am happy I'm hearing from the other side that COVID-19 did something, because they always say we use COVID as an excuse. So now I'm hearing that COVID-19 killed the act. I will leave it there in that domain, Madam President. Madam President, uncertainty, yes. There is a lot of uncertainty in everywhere right now, throughout the world. But the new St. Lucia we are building is based on optimism and real hard work. And that is what is going to get us through, Madam President. Many countries that are not borrowing money right now, they are printing their own money. But we are part of an OECS regime, and we cannot print our own money. Unlike countries like Barbados, Trinidad, they have their own money, Guyana, right? Canada, a huge country like Canada, one would have thought that they have all the reserves in the world to fall back on if a COVID hit them. But they are printing money every day for them to support their COVID response. We don't have that luxury, Madam President, so we have to borrow to do that. And when we borrow, it is not going in the government's pocket. It's not going in my pocket. Madam President, it is to take care of the people of St. Lucia, the taxpayers whose money was saved by this same government. It is to take care of the business of the people of St. Lucia. It's not for Alan Michael Chasney. Madam President, if there is one family that can survive without taking government's money and put it in their pocket in St. Lucia, it is the Chasney family. Madam President, they don't need it. So this suspicion about, our budget, we borrowing money, it is to take care of the people's business, Madam President. And you know the amazing thing, Madam President? To those who have more will be given. Because our Honorable Prime Minister is married to who, Madam President? Lady Raquel. The Dibule family, Madam President. To those who have, Madam President, more will be given. So when our Honorable Prime Minister presents a budget, it is not for him. It's not for him. It is because he cares about the people of St. Lucia, and he wants to see us raise our standards, move ourselves from this begging society to a society where every man and woman who wants to be gainfully employed can become employed. He wants us to create these opportunities so that our people can rise from the ashes, Madam President, and become the men and women that became Nobel laureates at one time, Madam President. They are not, I do not know of any country that have 2 Nobel laureates in the region, Madam President.
Honorable Leader of Government Business, unless you are rebutting something that was raised by the other side, remember to remain within the discussion at hand.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, we are talking about a budget that my Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Alan Michael Chasney, who is married to Raquel Dibule Chasney, presented, Madam President. And I am saying that this is the wife of a Prime Minister who helps our police, Madam President. She raises funds to contribute to many sectors in government and in the public service. And that is assisting our budget. It's assisting our budget, Madam President, because a lot of the police stations that were refurbished is through her efforts, Madam President, through her efforts that the police stations were refurbished. And that is not all, Madam President. This is a Prime Minister's wife who is working as hard as any one of us to ensure that this country progress.
Move along, please. Move along, please, Honorable Leader of Government Business. It is rebuttal. and it should speak to something that was raised. So please move along.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm so guided. There was a suggestion for us to move to a model where we use payroll support, where the NIC moved to a model of payroll support and marginal contributions to support. An employee-employer would share the burden, Madam President. Madam President, the NIC is run by a board, and this is really an issue that has to be taken up with the board of the NIC. Madam President, we were cautioned in this House that although the CMO is the person who gives us the technical advice, that the government ought to formulate its own response, regardless of the fact that the CMO is the one that gives us the advice. And Madam President, I must say that this is what is happening, Madam President. The CMO gives us the technical advice, and of course the CMO does not work alone. The CMO has a very large team of healthcare workers assisting her in taking decisions. And these decisions are what she uses to advise this administration in terms of how we go about opening our borders, setting out the protocols, and so on and so forth. So she is really the person who has the authority under the Quarantine Act to be in charge of our COVID response. So, Madam President, and she has guided us very, very, very well, exceptionally well. She has done a tremendous job during those trying times, going without sleep on many occasions for weeks. And of course, we are seeing the results unfolding, Madam President. So the point is well taken that the CMO is giving us the technical advice, and we are following that advice and using it for us to take our decisions moving forward. And this is why we still have the state of emergency, because if we need, that is the regime that the Cuban medical nurses and doctors came under, Madam President. This is how we were able to get them here so quickly, and this is how we are able to keep them here, of course, for as long as we need them. However, if we were to remove the state of emergency, Madam President, they would all have to return home, and then they would have to forward the documents to St. Lucia to be processed through the Medical and Dental Council, which is something that would take an inordinate amount of time before we could get them back here, Madam President. So I hope people understand one of the reasons why we need to keep the state of emergency until we can do otherwise. And of course, there are other reasons, but we are going to move on. To me, as a Minister of Health, this is one of the most important reasons why we need to maintain the state of emergency. But, Madam President, the state of emergency does not prevent anyone from doing the things that they normally do during the day. The fact that we are under curfew, of course, you know that there are rules that we have to go by, whether it's night or day. The state of emergency does not prevent us from going to work, going to school, or anything like that. It is really COVID that is more restricting us on the protocols, because we have to follow the protocols for us to keep ourselves safe. So I hope people understand that there is a bigger picture when you're looking at the state of emergency. Madam President, we got Economics 101 yesterday, and of course that was done very eloquently, if I might add. And I am going to move on, because we have agreed that Senator Oje is saying the model's not working, and the government of St. Lucia is saying we need a new St. Lucia. So we're on the same page, right? The cul-de-sac bridge, Madam President, the cul-de-sac bridge is not an ordinary bridge, Madam President. This is a bridge that is going to be built in a swamp area. It is an area that floods whenever it rains, whenever there are heavy rains, And this has been plaguing us for eternity. Now this bridge, Madam President, is also joining the East Coast Road and the West Coast Road. I believe that is the only place that happens. And as such, the bridge has to be elevated. At the same time, it has to go, create the pathway to go to all the 4 areas. So you can well see the complexity that that presents. So I think we need to wait until we see the plans, and then we will be able to judge whether the cost is justified or not. Okay? Madam President, the suspicion again that every program my administration presents is surrounded by that suspicion, Madam President. I believe it's a situation of I am, therefore you are. So if I am corrupt, I believe the next man is corrupt. If I am dishonest, I believe the next man is dishonest. And that is all, because throughout this budget presentation...
Honorable Leader of Government Business, those words are unparliamentary.
Okay,
be mindful of not using them. You can find another way.
Because I was defining I am, therefore you are. But I take your point, Madam President. I take your point. The CIP funds, Madam President, currently they go into the consolidated fund. So, and it is reflected in the estimates of revenue and expenditure. So that one is very, very clear. It's a huge document, and I understand that some of us have not even gone through it in its entirety, but it is listed there, and it would be advisable that senators take a look at the programs and projects that are listed in that document. Madam President, we are a government of transparency, Madam President. And I believe that we try to respond to all the questions that we are asked in this honorable house as much as possible, because I know we cannot respond to everything at the same time, but then I believe as a very approachable person, I can continue to give responses even outside of this house, Madam President. Madam President, I heard the call for us to show that we have not done anything. We have not done anything. A fellow senator said he wants to see what is going on with St. Jude. What is going on with St. Jude? I have been asked, Madam President, to organize a tour of the St. Jude Hospital, and I am happy to say that any senator, the independent senators would like that tour, and any other senator, I am welcoming, using this opportunity, Madam President, through you, to welcome any other senator, and yourself, of course, if they would like to be included in that tour. We can arrange for everybody to tour the St. Jude Hospital, which, of course, it seems to be presenting, seems to be regarded as an enigma for both administrations, Madam President. The senator said he would like to be on the tour. Of course, you come and be mesmerized, because you will see what is happening there. Let me take this opportunity, Madam President, to thank again all our frontline workers, all the people at our Ministry of Health, all the care workers, the caretakers in St. Lucia, to thank all the public workers who worked so hard in putting together the estimates of revenue and expenditure and this budget. Madam President, we would like to thank all the people of St. Lucia whom we were elected in office to serve, and whom this budget is going to serve, Madam President. Madam President, I would like to take some time to show the honorable senators the projects and the different programs that we have executed to date in St. Lucia, because Senator was saying what it is that we are doing and what is going on with St. Jude. So I would like to take this opportunity, if I may, Madam President, to show the slides of what it is that we have done. There is the St. Jude Hospital, Madam President. Do we have your permission to go ahead?
If it's forming part of your rebuttal.
Yes, yes, Madam President, because they're asking what it is we have done and they're saying we have not done anything. So I think it is just unfair for them to see the different projects and what it is that we have done, so that it will be etched in their mind, Madam President, as the year goes. This is the Soufrière Farmers Market, Castries Market redevelopment. This is phase 1, and of course phase 2 is going to come. It's on the way. The opening of OKEU, that has already completed. Hummingbird Beach project in Soufrière again. The Soufrière Square, Soufrière Bus Terminal, beach facility in Anse-Lorraine, Miku South Road Reconstruction Project, Jacmel Playing Field upgrade, rehabilitation of Choiseul Village Main Road, new police headquarters and halls of justice that is coming, Coco Formery in Angers Miku. Yes, what we have done and what we are doing and what is coming. Some of it. New wing of Miku Secondary, contract signed. Tomaso Denry Bridge, construction of Miku Wellness Center, that is in progress. 15 health centers were rehabilitated under the Smart Facility Project with PAHO, and I presented that yesterday, so now we're just showing you the infrastructure. New Larry Shoes Highway in Beaufort, groundbreaking in Canals Resort Development, new blocks at Choiseul Secondary School, 20 million injection into SLDB, new police bikes for the police force, frontline workers, lane expansion to Shock Roundabout. We are enjoying this extension right now, all of us. Agro-processing facility in Pouasso, Babono. Phase 1 of Pearl of the Caribbean. The project we like to talk about. Denry Village, Denry North Water Supply Improvement Project. Agro-processing facility in Angers Miku. Timon Road rehabilitation. Flood mitigation in Bexo. Of course, that area used to flood all the time. Since we came in and we did that, you don't see the area flooding anymore, Madam President.
You see a bus there? You see a bus there? You see a bus there?
National Sports Academy, of course, they said it is it's not going to serve its purpose, but I'm sure it will. Flood mitigation in Marc Bexon, sorry. Labon Water Project Phase 2. Canaries Bridge, a much needed bridge. John Compton done, rehabilitation project in progress. We really needed to reseal that dam. Groundbreaking Shock housing developments. Of course, we know many public servants that need housing. Forestier Road rehabilitation. That road was in a deplorable state for years. Upgrade of the Soufrière mini stadium. That is in progress. Opening of the forensic lab, extremely important, Madam President. Addition of 3 more pools at the Sulphur Springs, and a lot of visitors started enjoying that. Of course, COVID came, and hopefully the visitors will come back. Forestier housing development, 10 million spent on schools rehabilitation across the island, and opposition senator might recognize some of these schools. I don't know if he is among it. Denry Primary School, brand new, very beautiful. Nuwanora International Airport redevelopment, the much talked about project. 250 jobs at Ojo Labs. We are hoping they will start back. Since COVID, they had to stop, and now we are hoping they will come back so that our young people can get, additional jobs. Babono fire station opening. Ansbay Sab redevelopment. Upgrade of Denry playing field. Thank you very much. That was very enlightening, I hope, Madam President. So I hope that I was able to enlighten members, my fellow senators on the other side, Madam President. With that, Madam President, I thank you very much. You wanted to see more pictures?
Honorable Senators, the question is that the Appropriation 2020-2021 bill be read a second time. I now put the question. As many as are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
An act to provide for the services of the State of St. Lucia for the year ending on the 31st day of March 2021.
Honorable Leader of Government Business.
Madam President, since this is a money bill, I would beg to move that the Appropriation 2020-21 bill not be committed to committee stage, under Standing Order 65, and that the Appropriation 2020-2021 bill be read a third time and passed.
Honorable Senators, the question is that the Appropriation 2020-21 bill be read a third time and passed. I now put the question. As many as are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
This act may be cited as the Appropriation Act 2020-2021. Appropriation of $1,697,312,800 for services of the State of St. Lucia for the year 2020-2021.
Honorable Leader of Government Business.
Madam President, I beg to move the following motion standing in my name. Whereas it is provided by Section 3 of the National Savings and Development Bonds Act, Cap 15.25, that under the authority of a resolution of Parliament, the Minister for Finance may raise, by the issue of savings bonds inside and outside of St. Lucia, money up to the amount of $2,400,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars for financing such capital or other expenditure and for such debt financing as he or she determines. And whereas it is further provided under Section 4 of the National Savings and Development Bonds Act, Cap 15.25, that the bonds shall be issued in such form and on such terms and conditions as the Minister responsible for finance directs. And whereas the Minister for Finance considers it necessary to raise on the regional government securities market or through private placement at a maximum rate of 7.5%, A, the amount of EC $186 million for financing the 2020-2021 budget, B, the amount of EC $437 million for refinancing existing debts. Be it resolved that Parliament authorizes the Minister for Finance to raise on the regional government securities market or through private placement at a maximum rate of 7.5%, A, the amount of $186 million EC for financing the 2020-2021 budget, B, the amount of $437 million EC for refinancing existing debts. Madam President, this is customary that after the budget, government need to issue bonds and borrow to finance the budget for this country. The resolution seeks approval to borrow by way of bond financing in the first instance 186 million EC dollars through the issuance of bonds on the regional government securities market or through private placements at a maximum rate of 7.25%. And secondly, for $434 million for refinancing of existing debts through the issuance of bonds on the regional government securities market or through private placements at a maximum rate of 7.25%. Madam President, I present this resolution for consideration of this Honorable House.
Honourable Senators, the question is that Parliament authorize the Minister for Finance to raise on the regional government securities market or through private placement at a maximum rate of 7.5%. A, the amount of EC $186 million for financing the 2020-2021 budget. B, the amount of EC $434 million for refinancing the existing debt. I now put the question. As many as are of that opinion, say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. We've come to the end of this sitting, and I'd like to thank GIS for their work and the long hours that they stay here with us. And I'd like to thank also the Royal Police Force and our Sergeant in Arms and his team for their usual efforts at making sure we're safe and attending to the needs of the members. Before we go, I would like to bring certain things to the attention of the Senate. Senators need to plan at least 2 days for sittings based on the following. 10 senators may wish to speak. Each may ask for extra time of about 20 minutes. Each senator is entitled to 45 minutes at start. There is included in that points of order, lunch and dinner. 1 hour each, sometimes less. A simple calculation will allow you all to recognize that a sitting cannot be completed in 1 day and 1 evening, unless we speak for a shorter time. So I'm putting all senators on notice that the sittings are recommended for 2 days. We cater for that, and I need to draw it to your attention. Secondly, you have a duty to attend sittings of the Senate. Attendance at sittings is paramount, and senators are expected to rise to their duty. Parliamentary behavior does not only encompass content of speeches, it covers tone and decorum. Not being present to vote after you have made a submission on a bill is unparliamentary behavior. And I would advise that you do research on it, and you will find that that is precedent in many jurisdictions, including ours. Hence my reason for bringing it to the attention of the Senate. According to Order 37.1, contents of speeches must be confined to the discussion and the debate. Of course, leeway is granted by the presiding officer, but deviation from the discussion at hand must be short and always at the discretion of the presiding officer. 4, ministers are given the opportunity to make statements under the time allotted on the order paper for statements. Therefore, ministers should take advantage of that time to make statements and not as an aside or preamble before their submission at the time of the debate on a motion or a bill. The Office of the Parliament informs me that there is nothing in Hansard to suggest that the Leader of Government Business agreed to make the St. Jude report a document of the House. That was questioned by the Leader of the Opposition, so I'm just reporting that. Matters of the Office of the Parliament should be dealt with in the office, especially if it is not part of the discussion at hand. Honorable Leader of Government Business.
Madam President, I move that the Senate stand adjourned, sign the die.
Honorable Senators, the question is that the Senate do stand adjourned, sine die. I now put the question. As many as are of that opinion, say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Sitting adjourned.
And the sitting of the Senate has just been adjourned. The senators have all concluded their contributions to the budget debate. The Appropriations Bill 2020-2021 went through all its stages and has been passed in the Senate. That is among other matters or the businesses of the Senate at this time. Also important to note, the senators were reminded of the House rules and their obligation to duty as it pertains to the parliamentary convenings in terms of the time that they have, the expectation of the contributions in total to last about 2 days, we're hearing from the President of the Senate. And so as we've so far seen, the Senate commenced yesterday, and they are now continuing with they continued with their delivery today. Just to go over other matters before we conclude our live broadcast from the Parliament building. Earlier today at about midday, we had the National Insurance Corporation going live from the GIS studios to give an update on the economic relief program that has since been rolled out as part of the Government of St. Lucia's Social Stabilization Plan. And in an interview conducted by Lisa Joseph, where we had Mr. Matthew Mather, the director, other representatives, Ms. Sue-Ann Payne, Mr. McNaughton McLean, speaking and giving the assurance that everything that was humanly possible was being done, to ensure that those who qualify for this income support, those who qualify under the economic relief program would get their just dues as soon as possible. And in an update we got from Mr. McNaughton McLean, the communications representative from the NIC, he did indicate that over 21,000 applications have so far been processed. Out of that, 18,500 people have received payouts, and the average being $830.16. The total amount going out is $15.3 million so far. Now, going back to the feverish efforts to get all of those payouts to the individuals that are qualified, they did indicate, among other things, that they do not wait for set dates to make payments, and that as soon as an application is processed, it is churned out. They churn out the payments on a daily basis. That is the word we're getting from the representatives. Efforts to meet the increased and to meet the capacity of this program, they've increased personnel processors. They've also acknowledged that the timeliness of communication from the NIC was an issue that they're working on, and they're looking at implementing an automated process to help with the communication to applicants and candidates of the Economic Recovery Relief Program. They did indicate that May is being paid at this time, so April and May, and you may not receive a lump sum for what you've been owed, but you will get the payment one after the other in short order between the two. They did note also that issues that were clogging up the processing of applications were the account information being inaccurate, the employer or employee info mismatch. So the employer might provide information that conflicts with the employee's information that they submitted, NI numbers on the C3 form. So all of that information to the applicants out there, if you're making your application, ensure that all of your documentation, all of your numbers, your NI number, your bank account information. Mr. McNaughton-McLean did indicate that they in many cases receive debit card numbers and even sometimes ATM passcodes. So it is recommended that you look over the information, look over what they are asking of you to ensure that you put what is correct. And so that is just a roundup of what transpired during the live broadcast coming from the National Insurance Corporation. And with that, I just round up our live broadcast coming from the Parliament at this time. Senate again has been adjourned, and they went through all the stages of the Appropriations Bill for 2020-2021. Do stay tuned for more NTN programming at this time, and I do encourage you to go take a look at the NIC Live if you are so interested, desirous of getting more information on the Economic Recovery Relief Program, to find out how you can unclog if there are any issues related to your application at the NIC. Thank you so much for watching, and do have an enjoyable afternoon.